Okay, we made it up the stairs in our upstairs video, and maybe we can get the upstairs video in one shot instead of two like downstairs. You know, a lot of my preaching has been done. We got 2 floor receptacle outlets up here. Okay, looking around, we see we got some radiant panel OSB, and if we look up here, and this is a good example, but these are our soffit air intake vents. And our soffit air intake vents are much higher than our soffits. Our ceiling is going to be right here. Alright, and then we're going to put some insulation in here. And then the air comes in the soffit vents. And anywhere you have a soffit vent, you're supposed to have a baffle. So you see this exposed baffle? We don't see the exposed vent. We're supposed to have a baffle over all of the vent. Now these vents up here, they're called soffitless air intake vents, because some structures like 1980s French architecture, things like that, a lot of these structures they didn't have soffits, and they had to come up with a way to get ventilation into the attic. And but now I'm seeing it on a lot of new construction. And what does that mean? You know, well, it means that I'm going to have to use your imagination, because we have our exhaust vents up here, right? And we have our air intake vents here. So the air comes in here and goes out there. I haven't found one yet, but I should find one. I expect to find one. So the air comes in here and goes out there. So what happens to all the air between here and here? It does not move. It does not move. And I'm seeing that on a lot of new construction lately. Let me see if I can look out the window here and just kind of compare the neighbors. That house does not have it. That house does not have it. But I saw a house around here that does have it. And I'll probably show it to you in another video. Okay? So some people have their attics ventilated naturally, aspirated naturally. And then we have this alternative ventilation method. And I'm going to have to fall back on the code inspector or the engineer on record. Those are the 2 people that can tell you that I'm an idiot, you know, because right now all I see is dead air space over the bottom 5th or bottom 8th of the attic, and an engineer can explain to you that more about it, his opinion about it, tell you that I'm wrong. Coming in here, this is the upstairs fixed door 254. Okay, so yeah, follow that, do that. Moving on. Where's my pink paint? Well, I'll come up and paint things up as hopefully I won't need to go chase it down. Coming up, bathroom's looking okay, commode's far enough away. Remembering, okay, that I don't have plans. I don't rate plans. Okay, never mind that the code says that plans should be on premise. They're not. And never mind. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. I'm so busy looking. Plans are going to be on premise. I looked inside the electric load center cabinet. Sometimes they hide them there, but I didn't see them. I'll find them later. Oh, never mind that 1, the plans are supposed to be on premise. 2, reading the plans is outside the scope of my expertise. I can figure some things out, but, you know, staying in my lane and all that. Coming along here, we got some blocking. We got lots of double stud support. Okay, we got that going. Okay, to a header. Along here, I'm having some problems. Okay, we've got. Sorry about that. Okay, we got blocking. And then we got this switch bank, and I don't think this blocking I don't think, I'm not an engineer, plastic box and all, drywall screw and all, I don't think this is the same blocking as this blocking, as this blocking, as this blocking. I don't think this is the same blocking. And so that begs to, is this blocking sufficient? If it was, this blocking is not supposed to have a big gap in it like that. So the question about whether it's sufficient, I think is an honest question. But being critical of the way the blocking fits is a legitimate concern. Look at the way the blocking fits here, you know? So, come on, Mr. Code Inspector. My client is having a walkthrough with the builder, and on Tuesday, and if the builder could arrange for the code inspector to be out at the same time, that would be nice. Also, to another point, is Tuesday is an office day for me, and I could be made available for questions in real time because I'm curious. I want to learn. I'm a curious guy. And I mentioned this probably in the first video, and I'll mention it in the last video. I don't mind being wrong so long as my client's taken care of. I'm here to start the conversation. If I'm starting a conversation, that means it's a question. And if it's a question, that means that, you answer questions. What are the answers to my questions? So, and my observations. Some things I'm pretty confident about. The notching on the stairs would be one example. If you read the zip system flashing tape instructions, it says that this should be flat, and it should be rolled and smooth. And it's not me. That's the zip system flashing tape. The manufacturer's installation instructions. I'm going to follow that. And then again, I'll be overruled, But I'm not required to sign my inspection reports. I sign my inspection reports. I deliver a copy of my license. I bake that into my inspection reports. And I sent the builder a certificate of insurance proving that I'm licensed and insured, and I'm signing my work, and I'm bothering to write it down. And I would expect the same courtesy. I don't need to see the code inspector's insurance, but that I bother to write it down and I care enough to sign the document. I think that would be a reasonable courtesy of return. Just to say, like, we decided that you're full of bull, and actually you're wrong, and this is the where you were trying to go, or this addresses your question, and that would be okay. That would be okay. And I'll be available on Tuesday, so should anybody, while my client goes through what I'm assuming is his pre-drywall walkthrough, conversation is welcome. Conversation is welcome. I'll be writing somebody else's inspection report, so you got to give me, my other clients some courtesy so that I can deliver in real time, a reasonable time. But that nailing plate, actually, I don't think that I'm going to leave that alone, and I'll tell you why. It's because I don't think it was necessary in the first place. So it's not the best lumber, by the way. Okay, here and here and here. Coming on along. Because we're come alongers. We're just going to, for the sake of convenience, if you can believe me. Okay, for the sake of convenience, I'm going to come in here. We're above the kitchen. This is a little walkway platform. This is all going to be insulation. Now, on this insulation, by the way, I'm not seeing curbs around the attic platforms to prevent insulation spillage. So we come out here, what we're going to have is loose fill insulation over here, or whatever insulation that they decided that they were going to use, but I'm assuming that it's going to be loose fill insulation. And it could be other insulation, but I'm assuming that it's going to be loose fill insulation. And so we come in here and you have a platform, and this insulation is supposed to look like a fresh snow, okay? And we're looking at, because I haven't seen the plans or anything, but to get a good energy rating, we're probably going to be looking at something like 17 inches of loose fill insulation. We could have 14, depending on a lot of factors, and I'm not a factor. But let's say it's 14 inches. Let's say it's 17 inches. Well, that insulation, like a fresh snow, you're going to lose your insulation. The insulation is going to fall over this. And by the way, there should be some batt insulation installed underneath this platform, because we've lost insulation here too. So we want batt insulation underneath here, and we want around the perimeters, we want dams, we want guards, we want blocks, we want these things so that we don't lose our insulation. And then over here on this platform, well, I'm thinking you could just cover it with insulation. You know, I sound like a builder. This is really nice. Okay, covered like it's supposed to be. Really nice. Has a handle, okay, that says on and off. That's nice. I get it. We're gonna have probably gonna have rocker switches out here, but you know, a lot of builders just buy the rocker switches and then they put them everywhere. And some places rocker switches don't belong, and they don't belong in the attic, and you have a handle on that, and that's nice. Our air duct is kinked right there. That's our fresh air induction vent. And coming over here, and so again, if this platform is to stay here, because it could be a service area for the gas piping, it's not a walkway, so this gas piping does not need to be protected, regardless of the way that it's the ultimate arrangement. This gas pipe doesn't need to be protected, but we do need insulation underneath this platform. And 18. So coming along here, look at that, huh? Think that's going to roll up like cheap elastic? I do. You think it's going to kink your air duct? I think it's going to do that too. Okay, think that's going to restrict your airflow? I'll speak to that in the attic.